let's say Google or on the internet, and it will break your heart on the way that it will just break your heart. It'll make you want to do something or question why you're not doing anything. So in memory of Charlie Sampson, a family man who was detained a block and a half from his home, 120-degree weather, in the back seat of a police car. Told that, I won't go into that, look it up, Charlie Sampson. Family man, a homeowner. It didn't matter if he had what crime, past or present, it was the act of law enforcement that took his life and took him away from his family. And guess what? To the taxpayers, $6 million. Okay. So when we see these things, there's always a monetary value there that comes back to on us as taxpayers. So again, it's very important. Bubba, let me get his name. His name is Edmund. Everyone in the county, it's a small county, we knew him as Bubba. Bubba Gutierrez. I think he was 19 years old, coming home, stopped by the Imperial Police. There was not, and I think it's online, there was not a spot on that young man's body that was not either tased or beaten repeatedly with a steel club. This is in Imperial County, so, you know, you think things like this don't happen in small towns, rural towns. Well, it does. Then we have a veteran, Sergeant Tyrone Yancey, stopped by the Highway Patrol. He had suffered from postpartum trauma. Anyway, the dog, they had the canines. They stopped him for a license plate traffic stop. It turned into him losing his life. Then we have a 17-year-old, 18-year-old graduate from a little town called Mecca. He went to Salt City, California to pick up his girlfriend. He's an honor student getting ready to go to college. To this day, we still do not know what happened on that traffic stop. And the parents, and we still don't know. We're still trying to get that information. But in terms of him having behavior that was contrary to that, it doesn't seem to be. But the bottom line is he lost his life at a traffic stop. And all of these are traffic stops. So when you're driving down the street and you think you're okay because you're not at the bar or the club or wherever, it doesn't mean anything. A traffic stop will cost you your life. And I'm going to go up a little quicker because I know time is of the essence. And then we have Alfonso Settles and James Brown, another veteran. So we've had a lot of incidents, and there are a lot more that are happening in our valley. We're working on one right now where a gentleman was incarcerated for another traffic stop, but he died in custody. So this is our little town in Imperial County. So when you're driving through Imperial County, you know, be aware of the fact that if you get stopped, it may be your last time. Okay. So know your rights. So this is the reason why my group, which I'm also involved with, the IB Social Justice and the Black Lives Matter of Imperial County, we've gotten together and we've been working on these things, and we've been protesting and meeting with the police department and meeting with the sheriff's department, meeting with the district attorney's office, and we still, the good news is that we now have ACLU in the picture that can help us to really address these issues and all. And again, as an ambassador, I encourage all of you, because in one way or another, you're ambassadors anyway. All you have to do is go and learn the information. It's very, very important. Not only does your life depend upon it, your family lives depend upon it, your co-workers' lives can depend on lack of knowledge. There's somewhere in the scripture it says we perish for lack of knowledge. And a better way to put it again is we perish in the United States of America for not knowing our rights. So please entertain the idea of going to your nearest ACLU office. And the other reason why I'm here, beside them, and I have to give a loud shout out, and I know I'm probably taking up a little more time than I had planned. I'm not looking at my notes. But we did not have an advocate in Imperial Valley until a year ago. And let me tell you, one of the best things that probably has happened, you know, we can hire a lot of people to do a job. And we do hire a lot of people to do jobs, but sometimes they really don't have the skills and the tools to do the job, nor the commitment or passion. And Imperial County is very blessed to have our senior advocate, Crystal Casada. She's a jewel. Out there, and she reaches out to every segment of the community. We've never had this in Imperial County at all. And believe me, had she not be in the position she's in now, I know I wouldn't even be here today myself. Because you know when you're dealing with someone who's dealing from the heart, who has the commitment and dedication, and she has that. She's been out there with us on the border, the detention centers, with DACA and separation of families, law enforcement, you name it, she's there. And she's reaching out to the community college and getting the young people involved in ACLU. So in Imperial County, we're going to be doing great things, great things in terms of getting involved with the young people, but that's really where it's going to lie at, you know. And so, again, I'm going to cut it off. But anyway, knowing your rights again is very important. Please, your voice is your right. Your voices can be heard. But Martin Luther King's quote is that, I better not try this. I'm helping out someone about once we're silent, that's one of the worst things that we can have, is to be quiet. It's like saying, hey, everything's okay. And I know that fear and intimidation plays a part, but that can become, that can be something that we can address and all. So again, that's for me. Again, like I said, I am very, very, very pleased with the way ACLU is going in Imperial County, because growing up there, it was a negative thing because of the farmers. And then there's been this long absence, and now we have someone who is out there and is really making history for ACLU. She's been in the newspapers on numerous occasions, on her presentations, on her activism, and that's what we need. So I encourage all of you, it doesn't take that long, because you already know, you're already committed. It's no coincidence.